I'm going to begin this video by apologizing for the wind noise, but not apologizing for being able to catch a little bit of golden hour in the midst of my morning run. Anyway, good morning to each and every single one of you, and welcome to Tuesday morning. What I'm going to be doing, the golden hour is going to disappear really shortly because the sunrise is about to disappear behind some of these clouds that I've got in the sky here at the moment. But anyway, we've got just a touch of golden hour, and you can let me know down below what you think about the lighting that golden hour gives to us, that little bit of a glow, the little bit of the depth of colors that we get when we either are in the first hour after sunrise in the morning like now, or the last hour before sunset in the evening. That being a golden hour. What do you think about the type of lighting that it gives, with a little bit of, number one, the bit of glow, and number two, the way colors in the background tend to pop out just that little bit more. Anyway, welcome to Tuesday. I'm going to be looking at smashing out content, and I sincerely hope that you're going to be doing so as well. My Tuesday program is relatively simple. Do as much blogging as I possibly can, edit a couple of videos, and this evening at 6:30 in the evening is going to be, I'm going to be able to be spending a bit of time with Anna and the others in Project 24 for a mastermind session, and that's going to be between 6:30 and 7:30, and then after that continue with video editing, as well as trying to get maybe obviously shoot my late in the day video clip and get a bunch of additional video content produced. Anyway, excuse the banging from the background. You've got wind noise and you've got church bells, because over in that direction over there we've got the church tower in direct line of sight, which means that you've got the clanging of the church bells. Anyway, let me wrap up my run. I've got about another 1.5 miles to go to finish, and then once that's done, I can get through the shower and get stuck into blogging content to make today, Tuesday, the 19th of September, the best possible content day I can do. Let's see how we go, and I hope you do the same thing. And a super good evening to each and every single one of you. Just to bring you briefly back up to speed, today's output, 1,873 words. Didn't hit the 2,000 word mark, but knocked out 2 YouTube videos at the same time. So reasonably happy as far as the overall output is concerned. Tomorrow is going to be a really interesting day. There's a gym session going to be happening. There's potentially a run or maybe a walk, depending on how the day goes. 2 Project 24 mastermind sessions, the first of which is going to be about with Nathan, relating to pillar content and what incorporating pillar content into a blog can do as far as topical authority is concerned, and the reach of your blog, and being able to bring in more readers. So I'm interested to see what his thoughts are as far as that's concerned. My trail running blog has got a lot of pillar content on it. My other blogs have got a fair amount as well, but it's be just interesting to see if there's anything industry-wise that's changing as far as pillar content is concerned that I need to be having a look at and maybe incorporate into my blogs, both mine and the stuff that I'm producing for my freelance clients. Then there's going to be a content workout with Anna. So the Nathan's one is going to be 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Anna's got a session at 7 o'clock in the evening. It's going to be a content work hour. And then in between the two, Anna's going to be 7:30. In between the two, at 6 o'clock, is Ezoic talking about how to conduct an SEO site audit. So I'm going to be giving that one a good listen to see if there's anything worthwhile as far as that's concerned. So that's already knocking out 3 hours out of my day. There's a gym session that's 4 hours out of the day. So I'm going to have my work cut out to be able to produce all the content that I'm wanting to produce. But I'm determined to be able to be doing exactly that. And then also, um, at the moment, I'm looking at, from a point of view of blogging like XYZ, I'm looking at two writers at the moment to be analyzing in depth. The two at the moment that I'm looking at are Ernest Hemingway and Stephen King. Which one of the two would you like to see first? And are you interested in seeing both? If converting Stephen King's writing program into blogging and converting Ernest Hemingway's writing program into blogging. Obviously, Ernest Hemingway was around a long time before blogging was even a thing. But speaking of Stephen King and writing, something that Stephen King talks about doing is not being afraid of a messy first draft. But there's a caveat to that is, I know with blogging, what I like to do is I like to do quite a lot of my editing as I'm going along, paragraph per paragraph type of thing, except when I'm doing voice typing. Voice typing, I just get everything out and then I do a hard edit afterwards. But that, so for the second draft, but when I'm just writing, what I do in voice typing and my first edit tends to be exactly what I do on my first draft when I'm writing as such. And Stephen King talks about not being afraid of having a slightly messy first draft, but at the same time, his target is 3,000 words a day, which he talks about. He likes to write 6 pages, but that's 6 pages on an application like Scrivener, which gives you 6 pages of what it'll look like in a novel, not 6 pages of A4 typing like what we would think of as far as 6 pages are concerned. So Stephen King's 6 pages are more like 3 pages of A4, which is approximately 3,000 words. Um, and that his thing is that he writes his 6 pages per day and he always writes clean. So, in other words, basic grammar, spelling, punctuation, that type of thing. He takes care of that as he's writing to be able to write a clean draft so that he can clearly read, him and his editors can really clearly read what it is that he's written. So where he's talking about having a messy draft, it can be messy in terms of overall story dynamics. It might be having too many words. Might be needing to be brought down into a more concise type of format as far as a messy first draft is concerned, but it's not like it's riddled with spelling and punctuation errors and wrong words and things like that. That will be very difficult. It will be so distracting to read because of the errors that you can't really follow what the storyline is. So he talks about is that writing clean means that anybody will be able to read what you've written, and the way I bring that into blogging is the edit as you're going along so that whatever you've written can be really clearly written. But before publishing, I'll still read through all of that and potentially take out as many as 50 or 60 words of my final product to be able to make the writing tighter and more concise. When I'm working for, doing freelance work for a client, the Jan in the Czech Republic, the work that I've been doing for him, what I often do is I'll often cut as many as 200 words out from my slightly messy first draft, but still written cleanly, to the finished product that I deliver to Jan. So that's my writing style there, which is in a way you could almost say similar to Stephen King's writing style. So keep that in mind, is that when writing, write clean. In other words, you want to be able to clearly read what you've written. And many people, writing clean in a blog post is clean to a level where you can read it clearly, which means that it's basically publishable. But what I do is I would still take that clean writing that you have, give it a thorough proofread through, and see maybe as you proofreading through, there are one or two things that you can tighten up along the way to make it read just that bit a little bit better. Because after all, your readers are wanting to be able to read and easily understand what they're reading. That's my take for the matter. That wraps up this evening. And I'll be speaking to you first thing in the morning, potentially back up in the mountain again where I recorded the intro of this video, and hopefully early enough to still be able to catch golden hour. We'll see how that goes. Anyway, take care of your side. Have a good night's rest. Talk to you tomorrow. Good night.